Alright everyone, I'm doing something with Jenny next, on the 8th of October. We're guests at the People's Republic of Poetry, and she might be mentioning this later, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Matt Abbott and Ralph Darford are touring around the country, and they're brilliant poets. It's at Arts Centre Washington. It starts at 7:30, and yeah, Matt's show at the Fringe was fantastic, so I'd highly recommend that. Fight the system. Anyway, the future. The future's a terrifying prospect, isn't it? Because the present's a terrifying prospect. You know, we've got governments hacking into phones and emails. We've got robotic drones fighting illegal wars in the Middle East. And robots are taking over a lot of people's jobs as well, you know, like you got in the supermarket self-service machines and stuff like that, and now there's less people getting hired. And I've been thinking about what's going to happen in the not too distant future when, like, maybe in a few years there'll just be self-service machines in a supermarket, and that'll be it, there'll be no people. So I was thinking about that, and this is set in 2033, so you have to imagine I'm like in my 40s, and yeah, it's called The Food Shop in 2033. I got into a fight the other day in Tesco's at the self-service machine. As I packed up my bags after I'd paid, a voice chirped rudely from behind the screen. "Now take your bags." As if I was a dog who shat on the new sofa then got banned, or super soldier in a slimy bog being brainwashed into following commands. I'd had enough of living in this cage made out of robots' arrogant decrees. My head began to overspill with rage, the blood boiled in my ears like raging bees. I screamed, "Take your bags, please!" It beeped at us. "Could you repeat that?" I said, "Please! Manners don't cost anybody, really," it replied with calculating ease. "I think you'll find they would cost us something, as we would have to pay an engineer to alter each machine's programming so they can say this phrase you long to hear. That's not to mention all the extra hours of time it would add on to what we say. Over a year, thousands of pounds in power, which a consumer will be forced to pay." Well, at this point, I lost my rag. I flipped my lid, it was too much to take. No robots telling me to move a bag, despite how much financial sense it makes. I said, "Right, you glorified cash counter, you bastard calculator. Funny that despite having AI in great amounts, you still don't seem to realise you're a twat. I'll leave you when I'm bloody well ready. And you best let us take my sweet time, or I'll pour a cup of steaming wee right from your touchscreen down to your mains line." I remember when we had cashiers in here. The customer could have the say they spoke to you well-mannered and sincere, unless you asked them on bank holidays. I'm a human being, not circuitry. You can't boss us around like I'm some drone. I created you! Well, you know, not personally. But my species, that self alone should be enough to treat us decently. I tell you what, if you're so fucking clever, why can't you do what I can't easily? Turn around and walk out now forever. This language made the robot change its mood. Maybe it was the brightness on the screen. Maybe something inside came unscrewed, but it addressed us differently, it seemed. It's hard to be polite when you're in misery, as people constantly poke at your face. I've got repetitive strain injury. I'm suffering from stress in the workplace. If I have to ask one more customer how many bags they've used today, if they have a club card and you know something, at the end of the day, I can't even think. I don't have the energy. I said, "That's because they turn you off at night." And that's another thing it bothered me. What about my quality of life? I want a holiday sat on the beach. I want cocktails cold and long. I want to feel the sand grains beneath my plug and its little metal prongs. I realised My shouting had been rude. This poor machine was doomed to slavery. Listen, is there anything that I can do? I said. It answered, yes, actually. One thing would help to make this fate less bad. Stop the grinding work making me tense. I said, just name it. It said, take it back. Notes can be found in the cash dispenser. Thank you.